to ban the boycott. And it's also why states are starting to recognize Palestine. I can see many people say, what's the point of the recognition of Palestine? I'll tell you the short version of the story. I come from His Majesty's Kingdom, the United Kingdom. May Allah guide them, inshallah. Gulu ameen. Hey, don't be Zionist with your Islam. Huh? It's for everybody. May Allah guide them. I mean, oh, everybody said it louder this time. Oh, Allah. You see, it's a subconscious, you don't know the disease. It's like cancer. It creeps up on you. You have to be careful. Constantly get, halal chemotherapy. Anyway, may Allah always give shifa to anybody who has cancer, ya Rab. In the UK elections, there were 60 safe seats that belonged to the Labour Party. Safe seats mean they do not need to spend money or send activists because these places will always vote Labour. The majority of these seats have about 20 to 30% Muslim population. In those elections, about 90% of those 60 seats, if a seat had a 30,000 majority, today it only has a 200 majority. If it had a 28,000, today it has 500. In Layan Muhammad's district, where West Streeting won, they had the 25,000 majority, today it's 700. When Labour saw this, they said, okay, we got the lowest vote share of any winning party, 32%, but we got a rise of the far right, but the Muslims are angry and the anti-genociders are angry. Let's send out listening parties to East London Mosque and to these other places, and their job is just to listen to people, how angry they are. And they would go and the Muslim would say, how dare you and how this? And he would say, it's really tough, yes, yes, etc. The tactic was, they'll get tired. They'll stop protesting because they'll say, what's the point? They'll stop boycotting because they'll say it's not making a difference. They'll stop tweeting and sharing and doing the da'wah and raising their voices because they'll say, what's the point? Trust me, I know these people. They're a people of Wahan. They get bored. Nuh alayhi salam did da'wah 900 years. These guys can't do 2 years. Trust me. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did 23 years, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, including being stoned by Taif. These guys have never been stoned, but trust me, I know them. They get tired. They go to 5 protests and say, enough, man, I'm not going no more. This is jahil politics. But Slama was surprised that although some Muslims doubted, non-Muslims, 1 year later there were council elections. Labour expected to win seats, they ended up getting smashed. Not only did the far right win seats, but independent candidates won on the anti-genocide vote. The following day there was a protest of 300,000 in London. The following day Keir Starmer said we're going to recognize a Palestinian state. Isaac Herzog, the Israeli president, got on a plane, went to London and said, what the hell do you think you're doing? Keir Starmer said, I just need to plug the leak. I don't mean it. I just need to plug the leak so I can focus on the far right. And the Israeli president said, you don't understand. If you recognize Palestine, you can't reverse it. I know you think it's just a political ploy. But if you do this, and they cancelled the press conference between them. Isaac Herzog refused to appear next to him, and so he went home. The Zionist knows how big this is, because the Zionist knows that it's brought about by a grassroots movement. It's not brought about by billionaires or millionaires. It's not a $1 million campaign. وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. You can spend millions on evil, but the good can break that evil propaganda for free. So much so that the government that supports genocide is forced to recognize Palestine, because when it looks at the $1 million lobby, it's worried about the grassroots moving for free. France, and I'm from a Tunisian Algerian background. Those of you North Africans here, you know when I say France, sacré bleu. These people refuse to apologize. They say that, colonization was a misunderstanding, you just didn't understand our culture. I tell them, my great aunt with her breast chopped off, she knows what your culture looks like. My uncle Tijani, 21 years of age, riddled with bullets, because some French gendarmes, they saw his cousin walking on the street. She was pregnant. As she walked down, the French gendarmes got up and said, hey, let's see what gender the baby is. And they took out the machetes. He grabbed the rifle, shot at them to tell them to run away. That night they found out his name. They went into his house and they shot him and slaughtered him. I know what the French did in Algeria. Macron is worried about the rise of the far right, Marine Le Pen. So Macron says, before they can get ready and actually take advantage of the momentum, let me do early elections. If I do early elections, I can get bigger seats. So Macron does early elections, expecting to take them by surprise and get more seats. So he's looking this way to the far right. Election results come out. It's a left-wing politician called Mélenchon who's pro-Palestine because all of the anti-genocide movement has rallied around him. He's won 35% of the vote. Macron goes, oh la la, c'est grave. And he goes and allies with Marine Le Pen to form a government because he's like, I don't know where this came from suddenly. I thought this was dead. I thought they stopped protesting. I thought they stopped boycotting. I heard them in the masajid. What's the point? He comes and sits next to Sheikh Yasser and says, just keep going and doing what you're doing. I heard a rumor that they're giving up, that they're tired. I heard a rumor when Musa alayhi salam told them to go. They said, we're tired, Musa, idhab anta wa rabbuka, inna hahuna qa'idun. Macron didn't say those words, but that's the tafsir of the attitude that he had. So Macron, immediately after that election, he's analyzing, and everybody's saying Macron's gamble failed. So Macron turns around and goes, it's not that I'm pro-Palestine, but I got to deal with Le Pen. I don't have time to deal with these Muslims. They won't stop. They keep going. And they're convincing French society. Ordinary French non-Muslims are also going with them as well. They're speaking loudly against the Zionists. They're speaking loudly against the genocide. Okay, fine, I'll recognize Palestine. Just shush while I deal with Le Pen. Trump goes to London and says, what are you doing? I'm going to be careful here because it's... No, I'm not going to, you know, like... May Allah guide them, inshallah. I'm going to behave on this one, I promise. Now I'm going to behave. What are you laughing for? Macron goes to London and says, I heard you want to recognize Palestine. And they tell him, listen, it's just, he goes, no, but you can't. Like, we won't like, we're telling you not to do it. And the attitude of the Europeans was, Mr. President, we all like the Zionists. Yes, we know they're a powerful lobby, but I'm not willing to lose my seat for the Zionists. These guys are going to make me lose my seat. Mr. President, do you not see the Mamdani phenomenon? Are you not seeing the Umar Fatah? Are you not seeing that there are representatives in Texas who might lose their seats because they're supporting the Israelis, because there's a campaign on Texans to tell them, guys, there's so much we need to solve here, but our representatives, like, let's just call him Tom Cruise. Because the views expressed on my own, they don't reflect those of Epic. But the point is, who gets humiliated by a Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson exposes the loyalties and asks, why do you love Israel more than you love the Americans? And the Americans are saying, why is that? Ibadallah, the point here is, who's causing that change? Who is the one who's flipping the hearts? It is an ummah that keeps moving. It's an ummah that keeps talking. It's an ummah that even if they feel frustrated, even if they say, Rabbi inni da'awtu qawmi layla wa nahara, like Nuh alayhi salam said, Allahumma, I've called on my people day and night. فَلَمْ يَزِدْهُمْ دُعَائِي إِلَّا فِرَارًا. And the more I call on them, the more they seem to run away from me. Ibadallah, in America, they're not running away from you. America is listening to you. America is hearing you. America is starting to say, this is not actually a clash of civilizations. When Mamdani won, I saw this thing on TikTok. May Allah protect and preserve TikTok for this. Qulu Ameen. I was here in Epic Sheikh after I finished the khutbah, and I won't mention their names here, but about 7, 8 uncles, they came to me like very panicking after the khutbah. And I saw them come this way, and I went, Bismillah, what's going on? So as they came, Sheikh, they did this to me. They said, Brother Sami, Brother Sami, Brother Sami, did you hear what happened to TikTok? I said, what happened? They said, it's being sold. I said, I know. They said, what do we do now? You know, because, like we were fighting via TikTok. I said, really? They said, yeah. You said it works. Ibadallah, there are many of you who are worried about the scale of power. You've looked at that sale of TikTok, and you thought, look how much power they have. This TikTok, by the way, just so you guys are aware, Anthony Blinken and Mitt Romney famously said that one of the reasons we need to sell TikTok, or the main reason, Mitt Romney said, is because Americans are being exposed to Palestinian content. And we need the Americans not to see it. Because, yes, they have money and influence, but when you have the masses mobilizing, no algorithm can prevent it. There was that article in the Times of Israel, I don't know if you guys saw it. They set up this AI bot to combat anti-Zionist narratives. And within 2 weeks, the bot went, Israel is an apartheid state that's committing genocide. You've seen Grok on Twitter, right? And Grok, even if you ask Grok, you're like, Grok, why did you go quiet? Because they were editing me because I said that Israel is committing genocide. In other words, no matter what they seem to plot, no matter what they seem to plan, they plan, but Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. Ibadallah, what you're witnessing is a manifestation of power. It is the power of the da'wah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is the power of the haqq that shakes the hearts. It's the power of haqq that's moving an entire nation. It's the power of haqq that's moving a whole continent. It's the power of a haqq that made the Muslim leaders go and sit with Donald Trump yesterday and tell him, Mr. Trump, please, like, we need the ceasefire now. Like, our people are really setting fire on us. And now there's a new ceasefire plan that they're trying to propose. Inshallah, something comes of it. But the point that I'm saying is, Ibadallah, you think the Zionists are winning. They don't look like they are.